Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we got called out on our Marvell shares, so let's get right to tracking that and seeing where we stand. All right, so here we are on the website myatmm.com, setting on the dashboard, and we want to go over to the cost basis page. We're going to filter down by only the positions that we're currently in. We have Marvell selected, and so we have a call, a put, and we have some shares owned. So both of these contracts expired on the 13th, and the last trading price for this past Friday was 40.68. So that means that the put expired worthless, and it means that we got assigned on our call here. So since the put expired, we can go ahead and just X out of that one and get rid of that position because it's no longer valid. For the calls, we got assigned. So let's click assigned. The price assigned, we didn't have to buy to close because it was assigned, so that would be 0. And then we will have sold to close. Let me see. That's actually, let's see here. Oh, right, sold to close. Because we had to sell the stock. That's right. So the shares is 100. The assignment price would be 37, which is the same as the strike. All right, so it's $3,700. We're going to click submit. And that generated the transaction down here. All right, so what we need to do is we need to go ahead and clear out the call. And since we had to sell our shares, we got to clear out the stock purchase. And we need to record these transactions. The 127 was from the call. We already have that, but we do not have the sale of the stock recorded. So that's $3,700. We need to save that. All right. And so we are cleared out of that completely. And you can see that we have no more shares owned on this stock. So something to note is since we are called out at 37, you can notice that the price jumped up to 40.68. So obviously some people, have problem with the fact that, well, we missed out on $3 worth $300 basically of profit. But, overall, we've profited $321 already from owning this, or not owning it, but just playing this wheel strategy on this stock. So we're actually a little bit ahead from where we originally purchased it for 37. And we're out, with no risk. We don't have anything else to worry about on the stock. Not to mention, this 321 is premium, option premium that we've collected. Whereas had we purchased at $37 and sold it for 40.68, we would have had, granted, 40.68, so that would have been $368. But if we had sold it for 40, that would have been a capital gain basically. And then there's the worry of taxes and stuff. Granted, you're already getting taxed, I think, at the same rate for this. Again, not a tax accountant, so you would need to refer to them for their advice on that. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump over to Ameritrade and see what we can do now. All right, so here we are over in Ameritrade's paper trading, looking at Marvell. So you can see that this is the daily. So this was this past Friday. And if we jump over to the yearly chart, we can see it's making a run up here. So, who knows if it'll keep on going up or go down or whatever. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and stick with this stock. Since we have completed a full revolution of the wheel, we technically could start looking for another stock if we wanted to. But I like this one, so we're going to continue looking at this one. So we're going to come over to the Analyze tab, look at the simulated trades to find something in the option chain. And I always like to stick with weekly, so this coming Friday is the 20th. And let's see, yeah, I have it filtered down. That's why we're not seeing everything. Okay. And since we're looking at the money strikes, we don't need to look at all of those. We can filter it down to just like 6 or 4 or something. So anyway. All right, so we're kind of at the start of the wheel again. So we would be looking to start in with a cash secured put. I just like looking at the next week just to see how much price difference there is. So it's 83 and 129. So obviously doing weeklies is still paying quite a bit more than jumping out to monthlies. Now that's interesting. See how there's no price there? I can honestly admit I don't think I've seen that very often. So that's interesting that that's there. So 178 Yeah, so we're going to stick with this one. All right, so we're going to do a put down at 40.50. So we're going to sell that. The midpoint is, so that's 7. So we should be able to get 3 more cents. So how I did that is 90 cents minus 83 cents is 7 cents. So the midway point would be 3.5 or 3.5 cents. And since we don't deal in half cents in here, I moved it just up 3 cents. So that should be the midway point. So we should be able to give us doing that. And now the funny thing is, though, it's also putting plus 10. We don't want to do that. We only want to stick with one contract. And I will admit, since we did technically run 2 contracts on this. We ran a call and a put, so we were in it for twice the money. And now that we're out of it completely, we're just getting back into it for 1. That's just the way I like doing it, because then once we get into a stock, we have capital to continue putting into it with puts. And we use that strategy to build up a number of shares in it. And basically, if you wanted to scale out, then I would just look for another stock to do the same kind of thing on. It gives us room to have plenty of capital to roll into the stock to dollar cost average it should we need to do that. And maybe walking through this, since it went up so high, 40.50, maybe it'll drop back down to like the $35 range, which would mean it would take a lot more effort in calls and puts to dollar cost average that out, instead of how it just played out so nicely over the past week or two, and we got in and got out like with only a week time frame in between. So anyway, all right, so here's the cash secured put. We're going to go ahead and confirm and send this. So it's going to give us a net 85.35 should it execute. And today's Monday, but the market's closed due to a holiday. And so we will see if this executes tomorrow morning. And if it does, then we will have a transaction to track back over in the application. So let's go over there. So yeah, back over on myatwm.com, we will be able to enter a new position, which should be that cash secured put, and we will start this process over again. And we will just continue playing the wheel strategy. This is how you do it. You just get in the cash secured put. If it gets assigned, you own the stock, and then you start selling calls on that stock. In addition to, I always put another cash secured put, and I just keep on rotating that and putting more and more into it until we either dollar cost average our way down to a level to where the calls finally get called out, or we just keep on doing that. That's how myatwm.com does the wheel strategy. So I want to thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And go out today to myatwm.com and get your free account and start messing with this and tracking your own transactions. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.